Internet, my name is Odhiambo Otieno and this is Political Headache. We are cooking something amazing today. And today we are talking about perhaps the most important capital city in Africa.
Yes.
I don't know where Nairobi ranks in Africa. But I think it is very much high up there. But in terms of international community, I think Nairobi is almost number one. I don't know. The UN, the European Union, all of them are here. So people of the internet, there is a clamor for the independence of Nairobi.
Clamor for independence of Nairobi.
The clamor for the independence of Nairobi. Babu Owino or Mr. Ongili. Who Ongili? John Ongili. What is his other name?
Babu Ongili.
Babu Ongili. Babu Owino. And then Johnson Sakaja. We saw the last time RAILA sort of was trying to, give him a shot in the arm, Mr. Johnson Sakaja. And he was getting very cozy with him, and that did not go down well with Babu Owino. So today, people of the internet, we are going to be talking about whether Sakaja is rattled and how 2027 elections in Nairobi is gonna go. The reason why we are talking about it so early is because Nairobi is very, very, very important in this country. So, Nairobi County is Kenya's economic and political epicenter, faces significant fiscal, infrastructural, and governance challenges, compounded by rapid population growth projected to be 10 million by 2050. Its critical role as Kenya's capital intensifies pressure on resources, infrastructure, and service delivery. So, Odhiambo, let us look at the financial landscape of Nairobi. Nairobi received the highest absolute national government allocations at 21 billion. That was for the year 2025 and 2026. However, per capita, it receives the lowest amount nationally, highlighting resource inadequacy relative to population demands. Own resource revenue, OCR, has grown consistently, achieving 13.7 actually, billion in 2024-2025. And major sources and land rates, parking fees, building permits, single business permits, and advertisements. Despite growth, the on-source revenue consistently underperformed against ambitious targets. Then, something very interesting with Nairobi, that outstanding pending bills reached a crisis, totaling to 121 billion by June 2024, comprising 70% of total county pending bills nationwide by 2025. The Auditor General report of 2021-2022 highlighted severe financial mismanagement. Okay?
Yes.
So then, before we start this, I want to also go to infrastructure and public service deficiencies.
All right.
Waste management, approximately 3,000 tons of waste generated daily, but only half collected. Water and sanitation, chronic shortage with 40% loss due to leaks and theft. Road network, Nairobi ranked the second most congested African city, losing approximately 600,000, around 200 and about 600,000 Kenya shillings daily. We have got outdated infrastructure, flooding, and inadequate drainage, which intensifies congestion. Healthcare is in shambles. Nairobi County exhibited confrontational governance exemplified by dispute between Kenya Power involving cable cutting and garbage dumping, significantly damaging investor confidence. So there are systemic causes of infrastructure delay. We have got urban planning in the capital city. I want to ask you the first question, Mr. Odhiambo Otieno. Odhiambo Otieno Dongo.
Yes.
There is a guy who just told me that I should not call him Otieno because that is not his name. That is his father's name.
Oh.
So I was wondering, is it you who told me that name?
Not me though.
Tell me about, when you hear about Nairobi County, what comes to mind?
Nairobi County is, of course, the seat of the president, or the seat of the government. That implies that all eyes are on Nairobi. We are having, from the international community, all the embassies and consulates sit in Nairobi, except I think one which is in Mombasa. Nairobi also is where the headquarters of government agencies and government ministries, majorly all of them are here. And also, interestingly, the United Nations, as of yesterday night, is moving quite of their offices to Nairobi from New York. That is very, very strong indication that now Nairobi is only rivaling Addis Ababa in terms of the diplomatic space. So Nairobi sits very importantly in terms of diplomacy and government issues. One. Number two, Nairobi is also the beacon of the Kenyan dream. When you hear Nairobi, everybody knows that if you want to make it in life, then you need to be in Nairobi. So it is a representation of hope, the epitome of success in the Kenyan mindset. That is why we are having so many slums around the city, because everybody is coming from home to come and give it a shot in Nairobi, just like many other men and women have done before them. So in terms of economics and hoisting of the people's dreams, Nairobi anchors very highly. People like me who came to Nairobi 3 years ago are here with you. That is what I call the hope that we see when we are wherever we are in Kabondo or Kisumu or wherever. Nairobi also is a representation of the financial muscle of the country, especially the private businesses, because I could say quite a number, if not 90% of most decision makers of companies that have national spread sit in Nairobi. So you talk about multinationals, you talk about satellite companies that have satellite offices in Africa. They all sit in Nairobi. You talk about the industrial complex, that is the manufacturers, etc. They're at industrial area. I can tell you off my head that I know every packaging box, be it wood, be it plastic, everything comes from industrial area. If you talk about fabrication of gas cylinders, it happens in industrial area with 2 plants. I mean, talk about everything is right there. So Nairobi is a small county, but with a very big significance. And that is why perhaps moving forward, we should start reimagining the capital of Kenya and move it from Nairobi to Isiolo.
Why?
Because Isiolo sits at the center of this country, but also has the opportunity to grow the northern frontier. Because Nairobi sits towards the border of Kenya and Tanzania, because from here to Tanzania is just 2 hours. But Isiolo, typically, if you check it on the map, it sits directly at the center, and so it will open up the development of the northern frontier. Because right now, you look at the map of Kenya, you will find that there's a slit. Kenya's developed at a slit, right from the coast up to Nyanza. It's actually a slit of the country. So 3/4 of the country has not been touched in terms of development. And Isiolo also hosts already an international airport by this time. And the only thing we may need to do is like Nigeria did while creating the city of Abuja, which was built from ground zero to what it is now. Tanzania did it, moving their headquarters from Dar es Salaam to Dodoma. So Nairobi has come to a time where we have to do that. We have to reconsider that. Yeah. So that's what comes to my mind when I think of Nairobi.
Now we have 2 gentlemen that are trying to take over Nairobi again. Obviously, Sakaja is an incumbent, but he wants to have another person that is coming into the fray and trying to unseat him. That is BABU Otieno. The first question that I want to ask you is that if you look at BABU Otieno before Sakaja became the governor of Nairobi, what do you think about the 2 men? What are their strengths and what are their weaknesses?
Good. So if I look at Sakaja is a beneficiary of what I call generational gap politics, where in 2013 or thereabout, actually 2010, 11, 12, when Uhuru tried to rebrand KANU, Sakaja and my friend Onyango Olo, the former Secretary General of TNA, teamed up. Sakaja was just a very normal come here, go there around President Uhuru, who then they moved together and made him the senator for Nairobi. That was a very nice opportunity because I think he came in when he was rarely 33 or 4 as a senator, showing that he leveraged very much on networking and not much of his own making. Okay, compared to BABU Otieno is a man of his own. Is a man of his own making, and he understands politics in its definition, as I said, as defined by Nwabuzo in the book of Introduction to African Politics. He says that politics is the advancement of the interest of a sect towards government. And Babu Owino has perfected that. If you look at government in the state that Babu Owino, we grew up together in Kisumu, Nyalenda slums. Babu Owino's mom was a brewer of changa. And of course in Nyalenda we used to see changa people were almost hated by the forces there. We had Chief Kabisai who would round up Babu Owino's mom and the rest, Wakina Nyalalo and etc. and take them in. So Babu Owino, already from that form, it influenced his thinking about government. And from that time, he wanted already to be a lawyer, okay? And that forms that he wanted to advance an interest towards government because it is that changa that helped him go through school. And when he came to Nairobi, he also realized that he was not just an ordinary person. He could actually lead the university students in University of Nairobi. And remember, this he did in year 1 of his studies. That is a very interesting character because normally it is always the year 3 or year 4 who will always lead. But Babu Owino led, and he led for 2 consecutive terms by proceeding even to change the constitution of the Students' Organization of Nairobi University, SONU, then, to give him another term. And he went ahead to, I think, study, he did actuarial science first, then and that is a very brilliant course, of course. That's the most predictive and most futuristic course that one can do. And then he moved to law, I think, and now he's already where he is. So Babu Owino is a man of his own because he could stop the streets of Nairobi and he could be given that coverage. And then he came into ODM, which is not very young people friendly, especially the age of Babu Owino. And they managed to give him the ticket.
Why is it not people friendly, ODM? Why is it not young people friendly?
ODM is not young people friendly because young people are regarded as enablers and not the benefactors. Okay? Enablers here meaning that they can only facilitate the process towards acquisition of power, but not sitting at the table of power. Okay, so they always say they are the umhonto or sizwe of politics, especially for the henchmen.
That is something that I hear a lot in South Africa.
Yes, umhonto or sizwe is the violent wing, or is the wing, the army wing of ANC. So ODM is operating like that with the youths. The youths are umhonto or sizwe, and for you to get the ticket, it becomes very difficult because I can tell you that. The level of familiarity that you need is for you to get a ticket, that is if either you are in 1982 coup of those who were arrested with Raila Odinga, or if you are present in the clamor for multi-party democracy, or if you have deep pockets where you can buy tickets, because tickets are bought in ODM. They are never won. They're actually bought unless you're related. And I can tell you, every person who is right now sitting as an ODM, whatever, is actually either related to Raila Odinga by blood or by marriage. It is not just whatever. It is deep relations, or you must come from Bondo. Because I can tell you, for example, in Nyanza, I know, for example, the governor of Migori is not an indigenous Migori person. He's a man from Sakwa Bondo. The same to Governor Gladys Wanga. Is not an indigenous Homa Bay person. Of course, she's there by marriage, but she's not even indigenous Kanu. Okay? They come from Wangaya. Wangaya are actually somewhere in Asembo or Uyoma. Okay? So you must either be related to that type of thing. That then denies the youth the chance, because if you don't fit all these, most youths were not born in 1982. Yeah. In any case, people born in 1982 today are how old? That is me. That is you, 43 or something, right? Yes. So, of course, you are off the youth age, but you're youthful, of course. Yes. I must appreciate that. Yes. So people who were not born in 1982. But in the eyes of Raila Odinga, who is 90 years old, I am such a youth. Yeah, you're such a youth. You're Nyathini in his eyes. So many people are not of the capacity that you have today. Somebody like me, who is not yet 35, I'm not able to amass the amount of money, and I was not there in 1982. So which means... What type of money do you need to buy an ODM ticket, for example? So, for example, you want to be a senator, or you want to be a governor, or you want to be an MP. How does the money work in ODM? It varies. Nobody actually asks you for the money. I need to know that. Nobody actually asks you for the money. But the highest bidder takes the ticket, okay? And there are levels of cartels in the party that then take this money, okay? And nobody goes out and asks, like, give us money so that we can give you a ticket. No. It's a very clandestine way of lobbying.
But how will you know, for example, that person X has already given 50 million and so therefore I need to give 70 million?
For example, you need to campaign and win Nairobi gubernatorial ticket, okay? And ODM, of course, has controlled Nairobi for quite some time. You may need to check up to above 100 million to get that ticket. And it could be it's multiple line bribing. You bribe from somebody who carries a paper up to whoever sits on the top. But the one who sits on the top, of course, you don't bribe him per se. It's called homage. Yeah? You pay homage to the king. So when you go to the king's house, you don't go empty-handed. You must come with something to the king. It's our culture. Actually, let me not even call it a bribe. It's our culture. So the king will look at the person who's brought the highest, but also the person as just having the money is not enough. You must have the money, and you must also be loyal to the party.
The question is, when you go to the king and say you've got 30 million and you leave it in the king's court.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The king would know that you have brought so much.
Yes.
And then what will you be telling him when you're giving the king the money?
There are also three people who decide. Before I even answer that question, there are also three. It's a tripartite.
Okay. What does that mean?
ODM is a tripartite.
Okay.
There are three people who decide, and all of them come from the same family. I will not mention names.
Okay.
Allow me to not to mention their names.
We are even the king. We are not mentioning.
Yeah, we're not mentioning even the name of the king. Yeah. So it's a tripartite, and there must be at least consensus amongst the three, or two of the three. Okay? But at times there's something called consensus paralysis in the ODM party. And one person can veto. Maybe it's the king, or maybe it's the other two. One of them could veto the other because of various interests. So for you to get the ticket, you must be able to chance upon the three, either equally or in a balanced manner. You must know who to give what at what time. Okay.
And what to finally leave in the court.
And what to finally leave in the court. Because you could pay homage to the king, but the people who serve in the king's court have not received anything. And they're the gatekeepers. They're the ones who open the gate. And they're the ones who close the gate. They can say you're not coming in. And the king will only ask, why is he not coming in? They say he's not coming in. And that will be it. Because the king also listens to the gatekeepers in the party. So young people do not have the advantage of age and wisdom, quote unquote, to know how to open the gate and how to lobby inside there.
Even you who is going into the king's court, know that whatever you are leaving there is not, there is no guarantee of what you're leaving there.
There's no guarantee. Junet Mohammed, who is the MP for Suna East, his story is public. He said,
I have never known his story. Please, the audience might not know.
Yeah, it's very interesting. For Junet Mohammed to get the ticket, he had to hustle a lot. And literally, he had been a mayor in Migori, remember?
Okay.
So he's somebody who is known to the party ranks. But he still had to lobby to the extent of giving money to the ranks then, but still he was not certain. And he had to keep here and here with the party leader until the party leader had to give in that this guy was, too much, and he had to be given the ticket. I can tell you, for example, in 2022 as well, there was something about opinion polling which was done as a way of nomination, because the party has ways of nominating people. There's universal suffrage, there's direct nomination from the party, but also there's a consensus where the party you can decide as candidates that we are choosing this one of us to then become the party candidate. The party, of course, reserves the mandate or reserves the absolute nature of choosing who then goes to, who then bears their flag or who then carries their flag. But the formula that they use is what is in question. Because if they say direct ticketing, that's fine. We'll all agree that, okay, they've given Jagero the ticket for Nyakach constituency. We have to then see the other contestants, okay, who are contesting the choice of the party. That's where the name contestant comes from, okay? So, for example, in 2022, there's opinion poll thing, and all contestants were called to some hotel in Nairobi. They called all contestants or all aspirants to some hotel, and they were reading to them the opinion polls that were done, which were, of course, fictitious. And they were told, we are going to give the tickets based on this. And Of the MP seats in Nyanza, I think it's only 1 or 2 that went to nomination, which is Nyakach and Kisumu Central. The rest was direct ticketing. So the youth don't have a chance in that. And so Babu Owino, then effectively, doesn't have a life within ODM. Especially for 2027. Why?
But you see, now that's the problem, because I'm seeing, because, okay, go ahead and explain why.
Why?
And I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah, why doesn't Babu Owino have a life in ODM? Because when the cock...
We are going into the party question.
Yes. When the cock is crowing in the home, another young one cannot crow. Until when the cock of the home dies is when a younger cock will struggle crowing the next morning. And even in the absence of a younger cock, we will have a hen that will try to crow as the cock. And so the question in Nairobi, especially in the ODM party politics, is that the king is alive. We cannot have another king for now. But obviously you can see that Babu is not an appointee of the king. Babu is a man of his own. He's made himself to where he is. Of course, the king accepted that there is actually a young man who can be welcomed to my court. But not the young man. The people are saying, it is the people who are saying that this young man is now our king, okay? And you, big king, you can now relax. And we have this young one to now take over. But the king is not comfortable, because the king is not just about leadership. The king is looking at it also as a business opportunity. Yes. And Babu most probably is going to spoil the waters for him. You've just read in the accounts there that Nairobi County receives 21 billion in the last financial year. And 13 billion of that was on-source revenue. That's why the money actually goes high. So which means they receive even lower from the exchequer as compared to other counties. Because whatever you collect at your on-source collection comes back 100%. The government does not retain any of them or any of that, okay? So...
Do you take it to the government, or you have your own accounts where you send this money?
Of course, it goes to the consolidated account. Every money that is collected in this country as form of revenue goes to the consolidated account. It only goes under some level of, let's say, vote or whatever. It has its line in which it lands.
But I understand. Where is the money? Where is the money at central bank?
Of course, it's a central bank. Central bank is the one that has the main account for the government. You know, there are government offices or the government department that take their money straight from central bank and not the commercial banks. Although they also have commercial banks accounts. Yeah.
Okay. But the commercial bank accounts are for what?
For taking loans. They're allowed to take loans. Commercial banks are trade opportunity, or they're trade whatever. They're also used to channel salaries and things like that. Also paying suppliers, etc. So, of course, they will have an account there to trade with it. That's why they could steal money and put in an account and negotiate over that money for two nights or 3 nights. And they make, like, people trade with your money basically in these commercial banks. And the government officials do it all the time. Yeah. So the king may not be happy that Babu Owino could not be serving his interests in case he gets there.
Now the other question is, because then that answers the question of Babu Owino. And the tight race that I imagine would be between Babu Owino and Johnson Sakaja.
No, there's no tight race. Which tight race?
Okay, let me ask you. You think that it is going to be a landslide victory for Johnson Sakaja?
It's going to be landslide victory for Babu Owino. There's no tight race there. Which tight race?
For Babu Owino.
Yeah.
But the king is in the camp of Johnson Sakaja.
The king is playing a game. And of course, Johnson Sakaja is burning his fingers and is not seeing.
How so?
Sonko did so much for the king in this city. And Sonko even sank boreholes and even fenced some, and did so much, even employed some of the king's relatives. But when it came to the moment where Sonko needed the king left him. And that's the truth. The king left Sonko, the man who had helped him, and even employed a relative of his, and even sank a borehole somewhere in one of his children's compound.
But the question I keep asking myself is, I do not think that where Babu Owino is, he lacks the funds. Or he'll be outbid.
By who?
By Sakaja.
No, Babu Owino does not need RAILA in 2027.
Why? But he needs ODM. Maybe.
ODM is is a vehicle that has served its
Because
its life's purpose.
I hear he's shopping for a party to carry his wishes.
Even if he was just to come alone, he will still win. Just that you need to be in a party. ODM has no chance, not even 10%, to win Nairobi County Governor seat in 2027 unless Raila bolts from government. If he bolts from government, then because Nairobi has never been won by a pro-government person throughout. From the first gubernatorial election, it has always been people who are anti-government. Yeah.
So how did Sakaja then get it?
Sakaja was anti-government by the time that they were contesting. You remember the Kenya Kwanza, the Tanga team?
Yeah.
He wasn't the Tanga team.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it was not a pro-government person, it was a Tanga person. We had before that Sonko, yeah. Sonko was not a pro-government per se, but as he got in, you saw what happened for him. In fact, it's more dangerous for you to be in government, for you to win this Nairobi seat. Kidero was, of course, on the other side of the government.
And Sonko?
Sonko came as a man of his own, and he had to be given the city. Or what we always say that once you cross the Rubicon, you have to take the city or you'll be charged for treason. And that's where Babu is. Babu has to take the city or he'll be charged for high treason. Because the sin is committing, or the sin is about to commit, is unforgivable. Because he wants to take over the whole territory. Because remember, any Luo who has risen to national politics has come from Nairobi and not from outside Nairobi. Any Luo. Tom Mboya was right here in Nairobi. Okay? Jaramogi, yes, Jaramogi out. Yeah? We had who else? Raila himself in 1992, I think, or something. Nairobi. So most of them have always come from Nairobi. And that's why Babu is sitting at a very interesting position, but also very dangerous for him. That if he fails to take the seat, he'll be ostracized. He'll be annihilated. He will never be able to rise again. And that is why he has to take it. And the young people who are tribeless and leaderless are going to make Babu Otieno the governor of Nairobi.
When you talk about the age dynamic question, I don't see a difference. They are probably the same age mates.
Remember Nairobi has a very high proliferation of the youth voter.
Oh, so you're not talking about the age of the contestants. You're talking about the age of the voters.
The age of the voters. And even if you look at the age of the contestants, there's a clear difference. Babu Otieno, of course, is younger than Sakaja. We can check it up. He's younger than Sakaja. And also, age is not just about how you really are in terms.
Is he really younger than Sakaja?
It's also the mental age. Sakaja has a very old mental age. Very old. He's a negotiator. He's one who, and I've told you before, negotiators are bad leaders. Yeah, they're only good for crisis, but they're very bad leaders. So Sakaja has that old mentality that he is pro-establishment. He wants to move with the establishment as it is. But you look at Babu Otieno, his mental age is pretty young. It is still in the comrade age where we have university students. And if you know how Babu Otieno won his seat, his MPC that he's currently having, it was by a way of having many university students registering as voters. And how many universities do we have in Nairobi? Can they tilt a balance? Yes, they can tilt a balance. And so if Babu Otieno decides that to get these university students to register en masse for 2027, then already by that version is already ahead. Okay? Number two, Nairobi elects celebrities. Look at the MPs in Nairobi. Nairobi does not love prudent, quote-unquote, official-looking leaders. Nairobi likes celebs. Celebs. If you're not a celeb, no. Sakaja isn't a celeb in Nairobi.
He's not?
No. Sakaja was...
I remember girls really were loving his dimples.
I don't think if having a dimple gives you celebrity status. It only gives you the pretty privilege.
Do you consider Boniface Mwangi a celeb?
Yes, Boniface Mwangi is a celebrity.
But he failed flat on his face.
He didn't just fail flat on his face, because politics needs strategy, and maybe he lacked the strategy. Okay, but also Boniface Mwangi, I think, lacked the oomph of politics. He was very good in activism, but again, it was not marrying well with his constituency. He didn't have a solid constituency. You see, Babu Otieno has a solid constituency of who? Of university students. Solid constituency.
The ones that are there or the ones that left university?
The ones that left, the ones that are there. They still see him as one of their own because he's a representation. He's a representation of the maxims of university excellence, because he's done some of the toughest courses. Today, we still revere people who do actuarial science. We still revere people who study law. We revere people who can do 2 degrees, then go for a master's. That is very big. Then he came from university leadership and went to elective politics, and he won. And he served 2 terms. And is this excellent? He's still continuing to study.
How about Sakaja's education background?
You tell me about Sakaja's education background, because I understand he comes from somewhere called Trans Nzoia, which is close to Uganda, and just crossed over and some funny university, and he says he got a degree. Though he studied in UON, but along the way... I
don't fancy people who call some universities funny universities.
They're funny universities. If you didn't go to school, you didn't go to school. that is the truth. and Sakaja cannot come to us with papers which are doubted, which are not even recognized by...
I think that was politics. It had papers.
You tell me, where did you go for industrial attachment?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, thank you. You know, for you to attain a bachelor's degree, there's a unit that's actually called industrial attachment, which means you go out to the actual place of work and you practice what you are.
He was not in Airtel Uganda?
You tell me which year. Because the last he was seen, he was rapping, then he disappeared, then came back with Uhuru. And nobody knows what happened in between there. And he was driving Uhuru or driving Murathe, one of these people.
He was a driver?
He was a driver, yes. One of these people, Murathe or Uhuru. Yeah, he was a driver, basic driver.
Yeah, not even a security driver.
No, he's not even a security driver. So he didn't go to school. Sakaja has not gone to school.
A little bit of education. Maybe he has a little bit of education.
The way he manages...
I think it's very, what is the word? It's very, saying that somebody has not gone to school.
He has not gone to school. Give me the evidence that he's going to school.
He has not gone to the university, or he has not gone to school.
Okay, he has not graduated. What was it, as Miguna always asks, what was his dissertation? What was the topic of his dissertation?
Miguna is asking him that question.
Even now I'm asking him if he can challenge us by actually publishing his dissertation. Let him tell us where did he go for attachment. Let him tell us where did he practice as an intern after graduation.
What did he do in college?
What did he do in college?
According to him. Yeah, what did he do? What does he say?
Let him tell us. We don't know. I don't know. For Babu Owino, I'm telling you, offered actuarial science and law. It is there.
Now he's in the bar.
Now he sits on the bar, and he represents people pro bono. And I'm not campaigning for him. This is just the truth.
He represents people pro bono.
Pro bono. He does not charge. There's nobody that Babu has charged ever since he started his practice a few weeks ago. Yeah?
Hey.
Yeah, he's a public interest litigant.
A public
interest litigant.
Yeah. That's what's called officially.
Because he does things in the public interest. He does not do commercial yet. We haven't seen him do commercial cases yet. And I've seen him say in his page.
Or perhaps he's just introducing himself into law.
Perhaps he's just introducing himself. But also remember, leaders of his caliber.
He's interning himself.
He could. No, he's interned already because it's something called pupillage. Yeah? He's done his pupillage.
Where did he do his pupillage?
I'm not aware, but he must have done his pupillage somewhere very interesting. Yeah, Babu Owino is somebody who does not take school as a joke. You know, us who came from the slums of Nyalenda, we were only told 2 things. It's either you become a robber or you go to school. So for those of us who remained robbers in Nyalenda, those of us who went to school defend them.
Yeah.
It's a very nice, interesting relationship, okay? And one time you've sat with Nyamori here, you'll also realize that Nyamori also went to law school after the case. Okay.
After the case.
Yes, that implies.
Where did you go to school, Nyamori? University of Nairobi?
No, Nyamori went to Maseno. He was one of the founding or pioneer university student leaders in Maseno. Okay, so Babu Owino's records are clear. He did it by
long distance.
No. He was there. He did education, economics. Yeah, he was there. So Babu Owino his details are open. They're on the table, and we know it's legitimate. But this other guy, we don't know what's happening, man. You can tell me. Maybe you call him someday.
But you shouldn't write him off.
I'm writing him off because I think we'll talk about it. The mentality of Nairobi voters.
How about you insist that the issue of ethnic composition is still important?
Very important.
How so?
Extremely important.
How so?
Look at it this way. Who are the people who vote? they're the people in the slums majorly. They're the ones who have the political questions. Middle class people don't have political questions per se, because they're not yet a critical mass. If the middle class was a critical mass, then their political interests or political questions will be overriding the interests of the rest. But in this day and time, the political questions we have been reduced to the slums, what we call proletariats, those who earn wages per day, hand to mouth, yeah? So who are the majority of these people and where do they live? We can do an analysis of the slums of Nairobi or the middle class ends of Nairobi.
We have 45, we have Kibra, we have Kawangware.
So let's go slowly.
Yes.
So let's start. Which one do you want us to start with?
Let's start with Kibra.
Kibra. Kibra is largely Luos
and Luyas.
And Luyas. But Luos have a higher, they're the loudest there. Yeah. Then you come to Kawangware. Kawangware is majorly Luyas. Yeah. And a few and Kisses a little in Kawangware. Also we have Luyas, but Luyas. Then we go to Westlands, Kangemi area. Luyas. That's why they always vote in a Luya MP over there. Which other slum?
We have Githurai 45.
Kikuyus, of course.
Kikuyus, of
course.
But
they're not just... Githurai is not a slum, by the way.
Githurai is a slum.
No, it's not a slum.
Githurai is a slum.
If it's a slum, I cannot rate it at the level of Kibera. It's a very good slum.
But it's muddy.
Yeah, it's muddy. Okay, the road network, but it's not...
Then we have Embakasi.
Then we have Embakasi. Embakasi, is it a slum, really?
Yeah, Embakasi is a slum. I mean, there is no water there.
There's no water in Embakasi?
No.
What do they drink?
They drink water from the lorries. It's not like to make a shit of the whole situation, but that's what it is.
They drink water from the lorries.
From the lorries.
Which lorry? Oh, the water tanks.
The water bowers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But in Embakasi, there's Nyayo Estate there. They have water.
Yeah, but Nyayo Estate is an island in a slum.
Beautiful, you know?
Yeah.
So I look at Embakasi as well. I can't classify it at the level of political question. There are people who earn something. They're not really suffering.
Kasarani.
Kawasukari. Kasarani is not a slum. Where do you live?
Kasarani is what's the definition of a slum, Blue?
A slum for me is where people are living in shanties. They're not living in houses.
Yeah, but no.
Shanties are mud walled structures.
I think the definition of a slum is that even the road network is really bad.
Of course, where the level of social amenities is really low.
It's very slummy.
Of course, where the level of social amenities is really low, and there's no much development going on. But also, it always comes with a question of the land. But these slums do not just come up as slums. It's always also a question of the land. For example, do you know Kibera? There's nobody with the title deed.
Yeah, the Nubians.
It's actually Nubian land. It was actually a Nubian settlement because the Nubians were helping the Asians to build the railway.
Okay.
And then they were settled there. The same in Kibos, Kisumu. The same to wherever you find it were Nubi. Yeah? So these are the people just coming because they don't have status on those pieces of land. They just construct some temporary structures and shanties. And then when time comes for them to be removed, like now, the government is doing it maybe under compulsory state acquisition. I'm not certain, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you look at Kibra, Luos, whatever, all those constituencies, you will find that there's a significant number of politicians who will be elected along ethnic lines.
Yeah.
One of the biggest questions in Nairobi in 2027 becomes there's a new entrant into the ethnic war or into the ethnic clamor, which are the Somalis, who occupy now and control Isli, which is Mathare constituency, represented by Anthony Oluoch.
Yeah.
They have not yet, there's Mathare and then there's Kamkunji, I think. Kamkunji has always had some Muslim MP.
Yeah.
Or Somali MP, Somali-leaning MP. We are most likely to see Mathare go to that end as well. Because Anthony Oluoch is losing that seat in 2027.
Is he?
He's losing that seat, take it to the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the party has also, the fame of the party has gone. So if you look at that ethnic composition, Kikuyus will always vote with Kambas.
Yeah.
And Kambas can always vote with a Luo. Okay? Luyas are Luo's lapdogs. They will always go with them. Anywhere they go.
Yeah.
It's like the Luos are the protectors of Luyas in Nairobi.
The big brothers.
But not just that, there's also a very interesting composition in terms of the leadership of Luo. Remember, the Luos don't have a leader, a political leader. The Luos don't have. Whatever we have is a figurehead of a conquest that happened centuries ago. Are you getting what I'm saying?
No, can you say it in English?
Why is it that Luos and Luyas always move together in one direction? It is because the figurehead of the Luo is actually a Luya.
RAILA is a Luya?
Yes. RAILA is a Wanga. Is a Luya.
He's a Wanga.
Is a Wanga.
He's not Nilot.
Do you remember? No, it's not Nilot. RAILA is Bantu.
RAILA is not Nilot.
No, RAILA is Bantu.
What a shame.
What a shame.
By the way, a point of correction, the slums that we have in Nairobi is Kibera, which is 500,000.
That's population.
That's the population.
Very
we have
good.
Mathare, which is 200,000.
Yes.
We have Mukuru Kwachenga, which is 100,000. We have Korogocho, 150,000. Dandora, not yet. We don't know the exact number. We have Kariobangi.
It's a slum, yeah.
No
Kariobangi
number.
is a slum.
Kawangware is a slum with 100,000. And then we have Kayole and Soweto, which is about 50,000.
Correct.
So, and then we have Githurai 45.
Oh, they've classified it as a slum.
Yes, Githurai 45 is a slum. So the other ones, obviously, Mukuru Kwachenga, maybe is not.
Mukuru Kwachenga is a slum. It's a bad slum, in fact.
Really?
There are a lot of NGOs trying to do something at Mukuru Kwachenga there, and even the
Githurai
government.
44 and Githurai 45.
Yeah, and even
it's partly formal and partly informal.
Yeah, and even President Ruto has paid quite a focus on Mukuru Kwachenga. That's where there is some nice real estate on the affordable housing thing coming up. Many, the same to Kibera. Many. So as long as these people remain part of the equation, then they will always become the political boogeyman or boogie vehicle that the politicians will always use to advance themselves to politics.
So if you take the ethnic question, then it means that the Luos and the Luyas coming together will vote out. But Sakaja is also Luya, so then why...
Sakaja is not Luya.
Sakaja is what?
Sakaja is a tribe that is near Kalenjin. It's not Luya.
Iteso.
No, it's not Iteso. I'm just forgetting, but it's not Luya.
By the way, the Gen Zs are saying that we should not be talking tribal politics.
That is being intellectually handicapped. If you want to discuss politics, you must understand that Kenyan politics is inherently ethnic. Inherently ethnic. Maybe the Gen Zs are the first ones who will do it. Now, in Swahili says, mwachamila ni mtumwa. Mwachamila ni mtumwa.
What does that mean?
You cannot drop your identity. Your identity is yours. Otherwise, you'll be lost. You'll end up marrying people who you don't understand in that quest of leaderless and whatever. We're not saying it is bad, but you cannot muzzle us to keep quiet, not to give you the correct things. Yes, you have a view, but please also understand that there's a way that things operate. So your idealism is not the reality. It's just idealism. The reality is we vote along ethnic lines.
And it's not going to change?
It's not going to change.
It won't change?
Unless it is a critical mass. If, for example, people were to vote on issues, okay, or on those idealism things, then today we will be having women president from 2002. Because women are more than men.
How does Sakaja make sure that he takes advantage of his position as the incumbent to retain the seat?
He cannot. There's no possibility out for Sakaja. He's going home.
What wrong has he done?
So much. Ineptitude. He's very inept. Number two, he got to the level of power and forgot about the people. Forgot about the issues that took him there, and he became a businessman and is making good money and is investing all over. He's busy. He's more busy with and he knows. Sakaja is a brilliant man. He knows there's no chance for him again. He knows.
So you better cut away what you can.
Yeah, cut away what you can. It's not coming back because the mentality of the Nairobi voter is a middle-class mentality. That we vote you based on an issue. Once you sort that issue, we don't need you for the second.
What does the Nairobi people want then, in that case? What do they want Sakaja to fix?
So, by then, there was a leadership gap in Nairobi, okay? And there was this thing about hustlers vs dynasties, okay? And I think ODM made a very huge mistake by removing Tim Wanyonyi as the candidate and bringing this cartoon called Polycarp Igathe to come and contest.
Why are you calling him a cartoon? He's a professional.
He's a cartoon.
He's a professional.
What do you mean? Professional where?
He's a professional.
No, he's a professional on that side. But in politics, you don't bring professionalism. In any case, people do not need a professional in politics.
But we need a professional to fix Nairobi. What are you talking
You don't need a professional to fix Nairobi. You need a leader to fix Nairobi. A leader. And a leader is visionary. What is Polycarp Igade's vision? You tell me.
But you were in ODM.
There's none. He doesn't have.
You were in ODM at that time.
I even photographed him so many times. But I just used to wonder, this guy is so much of a thespian. He wants to appear doing drama. Campaign is not about drama. That's why I call him a cartoon. Okay?
He refused to pay you.
No, he didn't have to pay me. I was not working for him. I was not working for him, but it was
But
too.
I'm wondering why you are so
Look at the campaign that he did in 2022. Polycarp Igade basically was doing drama from morning to evening
What do you
instead of
mean
campaigning.
drama?
He would appear in a bus, for example, using a bus in the morning. Do you think people are fools to see you unapanda now basi, that is now your identity for them? You are simply trying to fool them. Number two, you are coming in midstream as a negotiated candidate.
Okay.
And you imagine that you're going to win a gubernatorial race where real issues are on the ground and there's a class war. There's a class war. You can never win a class war by coming with theatrics. Class war needs equal match of intellect and also strategy of how you're going to convince the voters. Okay? Yes, he was representing the business interests of Nairobi, but see Sakaja, in his authenticity, he got votes across the aisle. Both Azimio and Kenya Kwanza gave him votes, just like Sonko before. So Nairobi must be, the person who is coming in must be a representation of more than just the party that he is standing for. Okay? Right now, Sakaja looks wishy-washy. He's not most likely going to contest in UDA. So which means UDA could be having a candidate. Or, in case there's a joint opposition, or in case there's joint broad-based ticket.
Yeah.
He could be a candidate of the joint broad-based ticket, and that's how he goes home. Very easy.
So this is what Rigathi wanted to, under the night to Navyotaka.
That is
outlined his plans to offer leadership that brings inclusivity.
that's not Rigathi. That is Sakaja.
This is Rigathi.
Okay, gather, yeah.
Yes. It brings inclusivity, hope, prosperity, and sparks confidence in people. Rigathi assures city residents of provision of essential services, shared prosperity, transparency, participation in governance, and a high quality of life. That's what he wanted to do. Why are you talking about?
Which of those things is practical to you? Those are, you cannot tell a poor man.
It's a bit of a fluff.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fluff, exactly. I was in Azimio campaign. I was looking at this guy and I was like, this guy is a cartoon. Really? What are we doing to our candidate? Wanyonyi had the best solid plan for Nairobi. And Wanyonyi had demonstrated by way of being a member of parliament for Westlands and representing the poor there. And he did so well for them in terms of education, economic empowerment. I also photographed him. I have a lot of his details. There's a lot that he did. Okay? So this guy's agenda was not based on any vision.
His agenda was actually very good. I
It
just
wasn't.
downloaded the entire agenda.
It wasn't. Read it for me.
I just downloaded the entire agenda. He wanted to actually pick 3,000 tons of garbage daily, which is what I know it is. Yo, man. He wanted to do 11 TVET institutions. What are you talking about? 120 public health facilities, 47 public markets, water supply, 1 cubic meters demand versus, 205 public primary and 100 secondary schools, 235 ECD centers. The city with a population over 5 million is not structured to meet the needs of its citizens.
Let me tell you something, Jagero. Something that you need to learn about politics.
Okay.
Politics hates abstractness.
How is this abstract?
That's too abstract. That is, I want to build
11
this.
TVET constitution is abstract.
Okay, let me ask you, did Sakaja win the political question based on his based on the abstract presentation he was making? He won it because of his dimples and being with Ruto, who was saying that it is the hustler's moment. It was a moment. And the vision was based on that Ruto was going to make the country so good, and anybody with him then was a merchant of prosperity, okay, for the hustlers. But this guy was a representation of the dynasties, and he was representing a continuation of the dynasty interest, especially the capital interest in Nairobi. So Igade failed nicely. Sakaja won, and as much as he won, he also knew that he was only going to serve 5 years or maybe 2. But he has done excellently well to manage to manage sitting on that seat for more than 3 years. It's always very tough.
Actually, Sakaja promised a working universal health care. What the hell?
Yes. Which was part of Ruto's plan, which is being implemented. That is true.
What is that?
That is the SHA. It is working. That's why I told you.
Healthy lunch for all learners in public and primary schools.
It is working. It is going on. That is true. That is going on.
Affordable and decent housing.
No, he cannot do that. Though he anchored on Ruto, so it's working.
Building 20 new markets. How many has he built?
I'm not sure how many he has built, but I know he's doing quite a good job.
A digital unified single business permit. He has not done it.
He's not done it. Not yet. Unified business permit, not yet.
The Kenya shillings 50 million Biashara fund per ward.
It's nowhere.
Zero tolerance to corruption and wastage.
The most corrupt and
conflict of interest.
The most corrupt and the most wasteful governor I've ever seen.
Delivery of sports centers in all sub-counties. Full implementation of the...
You know, some of these people should just be done the Liberia way.
But let me ask you.
Yeah. Take this guy to a firing squad.
Who is this guy? Who is this guy that is... His the deputy is who?
Yeah?
Who is his deputy? I've seen a guy here called
What
Bushiri.
Mushiri used to be a banker.
He's still a deputy governor. But you don't hear about him.
That is how a deputy should be. Disappear. A deputy should not be seen all over. Why do you want to be seen? You're there, you're a fly on the wall.
Come on.
Deputy, you're a deputy. Fly on the wall. You should not be seen.
Let's make Nairobi work. Lazima work.
In a work ikienda nyuma. That's why he's going home. Very early in the morning.
Thank you very much.
Now,
Odhiambo Otieno, yes.
just wait a minute before. There's this thing that I want to tell you about how Babu becomes a governor so effortlessly, despite every odd that seems against him. Number one, from a very young age, Babu has been working with odds against him. So it is not something new to him.
He knows how to hop over them obstacles.
He knows that he's coming in from a loss perspective, and he has to find his way out. So he creates very good relationships. And he has, even if you text Babu Owino today, he will answer you. He has very good skills of how to then even out the odds. Number two, Babu is charismatic. Babu represents the hope of a poor man. The majority of the voters are poor people. Babu is a representation of what their future could look like. And they're loving him and they're going to support him. And also remember, Babu has not chosen the dead horse theory in terms of pursuing his politics, knowing so well that the horse is dead, or the horse is likely kicking its last kicks of a dying horse. Babu has decided to unmount the horse and said, I could go it alone because this is dead. A clever fly does not go with the horse to the grave. You step out. And Babu has done that. And so there's an opportunity for Babu in 2027. Also, Babu is not an enemy of anybody per se. The business community are good with him. The Kikuyu community, where he is married, are good with him, and who, of course, own the businesses in Nairobi.
Where he's married.
Where he is married from, okay, are very good with him. The Luyas see Babu, they see themselves. The Kambas see Babu, they see themselves. The Asians see Babu, and they see one of their own. So, what is the difficulty here?
The Asians see Babu as one of their own?
Of course. Yes. So there's a lot. Babu is lovely and is quite good looking, and he's hardworking.
He doesn't have dimples though.
No, he doesn't have dimples, but he knows how to talk, and he shows up for the people, and he's with the Gen Zs. So Babu, in fact, this election is for Babu to lose. Whatever he does could only reduce his chances. He's already won it for me. Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much, sir. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Odhiambo Otieno.
Thank you.
People of the internet, thank you very much for tuning again to Political Headache, where we talk politics. I call it politics for dummies.
Yeah.
You know, there is a book called Whatever for Dummies. Whatever for Dummies. So
I need to read it.
Really?
Yeah.
You should read it.
Yeah.
So please consider subscribing to this podcast. We would really love to see you getting into all the podcasts that we have done together. Odhiambo Otieno is always coming here. Odhiambo Otieno is a professional PR and communication consultant If you are a politician and you're looking at him and saying, this guy can judge me and put me on the right map to winning a race, you can always contact him. If you're a company and you want to, talk properly.
Communicate properly.
Yeah.
Get your message across without the nuances.
Without the nuances.
Yeah.
You can always talk to him.
Thank you so much.
How do they get you, Mr. Odhiambo?
Of course, on Facebook, Odhiambo B. Otieno. And of course, I have my contacts.
You can say your number.
I always like giving it if you allow me.
Yes, your business number.
But they must use it correctly. 0704341733. Anytime, I'll pick it. Let's do this.
All right. So thank you very much, people of the internet. Until another episode. Bye for now.